Good morning, students. Today, new lesson, Unit 5, Geography, India population, transport, communication and trade. Introduction. Listen here carefully, students. The study of population is one of the important aspects of the geography of any region. The human population is differ. The number of human population is differ. Region to region it is differ. Some areas more and more population, some areas low population. The composition also differ each and every region, and distribution of population. For example, some areas the distribution of population is very high because of fertility of area. Some areas distribution of population is very low because of infertile area. So, the density of population is different in each and every place. Population. The total number of people residing in a country is called population. The total number of people residing in a country is called population. India is the second highest population in the world, next to the China. Next to the China, India is the second highly populated area in the world. Next to China. The land area covered in India is 2.4%. Only the land area covered. And 17.5% of the world population. Total number of world population in India, 17.5% population in India. Come back to the world. Census. Census is taken once in a decade. Once in a decade, census is taken. Decade means 10 years once. 10 years once, census were taken. The census were taken in the process of collecting the number of persons. The distribution of population is differ each and every area. So collecting the numbers, first one. Second one, compiling. All the census are taken now. After that, the compiling is very, very important. Then analyzing. The total number of population were analyzed of all persons. Distribution and density of population. The distribution of population is differ, already told you. And the density also differ. Some areas distribution of the population is very low. Some areas distribution of population is very high. In some areas the density of population, some states, and in India some states having the densely populated area. The density of population refers way of people spread in a country. Spread in a country. The population is uneven. Uneven, not even. One area having more and more population, another area low population. According to the resources, if more and more resources area means more and more population that live in that particular area. According to the resources, the population density is that. So resources, where the more and more resources available in that area, the lot of people were live in that area. The resources were very less means the population also very low. The distribution of population is very low in that area. The industrial, for example, the density of population, the more and more population live in industrial areas and agricultural areas, where the agriculture is grown well or industrially developed area. In that areas, more and more population will live. In these areas are densely populated, and like some areas were low population area, like that arid area. For example, desert area. Desert area, the number of population is very less. The forest covered area. The forest covered area, the number of population is very low. And remote areas. There is no remote area means there is no facilities is there in that area. So the population is very less in that remote areas also. Note it. And these areas thinly populated. Thinly means low population. Thinly means low population area. Like arid areas, forest area, remote areas. Several factors affect the population. Several factors affect the population. For example, the fertile soil is there means the population is very high. But infertile soil is there means one area having infertile soil means the low population in that area. Because of the fertility is not there. So the population is very less. This is affect the population. Several factors affect the population, no? But another factors like that, soil and other forest areas like that affect the population. And other arid desert areas, several factors is there. Affect the distribution of population that affect climatic condition, water body area. Some areas were not having the irrigation facilities is that means the low population conducive in that particular area. Forest areas, remote centers, and industries. Some industries were pollution created. In these areas, not able to live the people, more and more people. So affect the population in these areas. Noted. Factors affecting the population. Uttar Pradesh. Uttar Pradesh is one of the fertile area. Ganga and Yamuna river flows in that particular Ganga river. Water flow, tributaries like that. The water flows in these areas luxuriously. So many crops can grow in Uttar Pradesh. So Uttar Pradesh is one of the fertile area. The fertile soil is conducive everywhere, found everywhere. So fertile soil means what? Alluvial soil. Alluvial soil is one of the fertile soil. So alluvial soil available in this Uttar Pradesh area. So more and more crops can grow, and densely populated area is Uttar Pradesh in India. Because of more and more resources available, and also more and more irrigation facilities also available. So densely populated area, and transport facilities also, more and more transport facilities also available in Uttar Pradesh area. So densely populated in Uttar Pradesh, high populated area. Then Sikkim is a low population in our country. Sikkim is one of the low populated area in our country, and Delhi is one of the union territory. Delhi is the highest population in the Union Territory in our country. Note it. Density of population. The density of population is differ. According to the 2011 average density of the area is 382 persons per square kilometer. 382 persons per square kilometer. So, India is thickly populated area among the 10 countries. Among the 10 countries, India is densely populated area. Densely, thickly populated or densely populated area among the 10 countries in the world. So, Bihar, the state of Bihar is most densely populated in our country. Bihar is one of the state in our country. In that state, Bihar state, more and more population, densely populated area. And Arunachal Pradesh is least population state in our country. Least population state. Then Delhi is one of the Union Territory and densely populated area. And in Union Territory, Andaman Nicobar Island is a very low population, least population. Compared to the Delhi, Arunachal Pradesh is, Andaman and Nicobar Island is very low population area. Noted. Delhi is Union Territory, densely populated area. Noted. Population growth and change. The population growth and change were conducive in region to region. Some regions were increase the population, some regions were decrease the population. Compared to the last year, this year it is changes the population. Because of one period it high, the population is very high, another period is very low, like that. It is changes the growth and changes the population. Not static. So, listen here, another period it is, one period is very high, another period is very low. Population growth influenced in three categories. Population growth influenced in three categories. What are they? Listen here back. The students. One is the birth rate. Second one is death rate. Third one is migration. If the birth rate is increased, number of births per 1,000 people in a year is calculated. Population growth. Number of births per 1,000 people in a year is calculated in the birth rate. And death rate. Number of deaths per 1,000 people in a year. It is calculated in death rate. And migration. Some people were live some years live one area and another some years migrate one place to another, changes one place to another. So, according to the resources, according to the availability of population, so the people were migrated one place to another. So, if the decline of death rate, major cause for the population growth in our country. Nowadays, a lot of medicinal facilities is there. The death rate were declined nowadays. So, the population is increased in our country. Note it. Once again, listen here carefully students. Introduction. The study of population is one of the important aspect of the geography in our one region to another. The population is differ, the number also differ, composition also differ, and distribution of differ, density also differ. Density of population also differ. Population, the total number of population, total number of people residing in a country is known as population. India is the second largest population country in the world, next to China. China is the first position. the population density. In India, the land area covered 2.4 percentage, and population in the world 17.5 percentage were covered in our country. World population 17.5 percentage were covered in India, increased in India. So census were taken once in a decade. Decade means 10 years once. The process of collecting, compiling, analyzing of the whole person is known as census. Distribution and density of population. Density of population refers way of people spread in each and every region. The population is uneven. Some places having more and more population, some places having less population. It is uneven, not even in the world. In India also, different type of areas, different type of people live. Uneven one. Population is uneven. And the resources also differ each and every areas. Some areas having more and more resources, some areas not having the resources. The industrial centers, agri lands, more and more people, these industrial centers and agri lands is that means more and more people live in that area. The population density is there in that because of fertility of that area. And arid areas, desert areas, forest areas, remote areas, thinly populated area. They are not able to, people not able to live in that particular area. More and more people migrate one place to another. Several factors affect the population like that: soil, climate and mineral resources. These are all the factors. Industries, transport and urbanization, like that. In these factors affect the population. Uttar Pradesh is one of the fertile area. More and more population were living in that particular area, densely populated area in India. And Sikkim is the lowest population in our country. And Delhi is one of the union territory, more and thickly populated area in Delhi. Noted density of population. According to 2011, average density is 382 persons per square kilometer. India is thickly populated in 10 countries among the world. Bihar is one of the state in India, thickly populated area, densely populated area in Bihar. And Arunachal Pradesh is the least populated area, state in that country. Delhi is one of the union territory. It is densely populated in Delhi, and Andaman Nicobar Island is one of the union territory, the least population in Andaman and Nicobar Island. Population growth and change. Some areas increase the population, some areas decrease the population. Some areas grow to the population and some areas changes like that. So one period to another. One period to another, the population changes. The population growth influenced in three categories. One is the birth rate, second one is the death rate, third one is the migration. Number of births per 1,000 people in a year is known as birth rate. Number of deaths per 1,000 people in a year is known as death rate. And migrate. Some people will migrate one place to another. So the population also changes in one place to another. Number of population that changes. Some people were living in our country, inside the country, internal migration. Some people were migrate one country to another like that. So migration, if goes another country means our population is very less. If internal inside the country they migrate means more, they did not changes the population. Okay. Now finally, the decline of the death rate, major cause of population growth. the decline of death rate, because of nowadays more and more medicinal facilities is that the medicinal facilities decline the population, death rate were declined and population growth were increased. Okay, then see you tomorrow, students.